cheers and enjoy the beers. Kitty, it's not really going to work, darling. We're live. Yes, welcome back to the channel with me. Disco, come. Kitty, it's not going to work. Yes, welcome back to the channel with me. Disco coming at you with another set of live beer reviews from in front of the cans and bottles here on the bar, where I'm still having a smashing time calling the Disco Arms. And, of course, the lovely Kitty is, well, she's not really trying to get on the act. She just likes a perch and is waiting for some lap time, which she's filling in with some cleaning. But yes, anyway, in the meantime, you have to wait for these 3 beers, Kitty, because I've got 3 more beers to do. It is, once again, Smashing Pumpkins time on Thursday Tipple, a show 3 weeks, a sequel to a show 3 weeks ago. It's 3 weeks, or was it 2? No, it's 3 weeks ago now with Halloween. We're now into the 3rd week of November. Crazy, isn't it? It's gone crashing headlong through. But yeah, I had a couple of spare pumpkin beers then. Got 1 more in. So this will now be numbers 5, 6, and 7 with the pumpkin beers this year. Especially as I wasn't actually going to do any pumpkin beers this year. And then I saw them and I thought, well, let's give it a go. So we did the 3 last week. They are up there. I'll put them back up there. The pumpkin spice latte from Fierce Beer. The Basic Witch from Buxton, pumpkin spice porter, and a pumpkin spice stout from Alter Ego called Is Anyone There? If anyone is there, such as Jamie, welcome. Thank you for popping in. How are you doing? No, that's not your water. You've got water out there, Kitty. That's your water. She's just seen my tank of water, and we'll have some of that then. Bless her. But yeah, thanks, Jamie. Thanks for popping in. Hope you're doing all right. Yeah, it's going slightly cold and slightly knackered. Haven't really had a beer this week. Meant to do a stream on Monday. In fact, I got as far as putting one up. And then various things conspired against me on Monday, and I didn't get back here in time. So I just do it next Monday instead. Just 3 fairly randomish beers. In fact, yeah, beers that I was given. So 3 beers. So we'll go to 3 beer Monday. I'll put that back to next week. I thought I'd do the pumpkin beers today because it was, 3 weeks after Halloween. So I thought we'd do some more pumpkin beers today, just because I like that kind of thing. Fair play, chilling, watching TV. Yeah, like I say, not haven't really had any beers this week. I thought, I'll get some in because never really get time to do any content on the weekends, what we're working and stuff. So early finish-ish. I'm fairly knackering day at the brewery today, but we at least finish early. So I thought I'll get some beers in. Didn't know if anybody's actually going to pop over and watch in as that professional beer reviewers, the craft beer channel, or over on the other side, reviewing a set of 3 beers. I don't know where they got idea from. But I'll probably go and watch that afterwards, so I can watch it on like speed run. I just click through all the rest of it. I don't know if anybody watches this like that, or maybe everybody's going to come over after that and watch this one on speed run. Don't know. Anyway, let's get into the beers. If I can find the file. Let's start in the traditional place of. Still haven't got this fixed. Beer number 1, please. Gotcha. Right, beer number 1 is change the banner. Beer number 1, we're going up to Yorkshire, as often I do, for Brew York. I don't think this is a collab. I've been getting a lot of collab out recently, but this is called Protocol, and it is a 4.9% pumpkin spiced stout. I did those three because they were three separate beers, and obviously pumpkin spice, you get a lot of porters and stouts. That's fine. So I was really keen to do that fierce beer, which was neither. It was kind of amber ale. So I was pleased at that. Mr. Wilson, thanks for popping in. Hope you're doing all right. The week's going well, and you've got a beer on this Thursday. Tipple joining us for Smashing Pumpkins 2. Another set of 3 pumpkin beers. Didn't seem too many other people bother with pumpkin beers this year, but there was a few about, and you know me, I like this kind of theme, so I sort of went for it, and I've got the other 3 now because one took a little bit longer to get in, wasn't available for Halloween as I thought it might be. But let's get this into the glass from Brew York, 4.9%. You know me, like a stout, and Brew York fairly good on the stout. So this one does seem a little thin on the initial pour, but good head development there. And I've just seen that to do the reminder. Having managed to get all 3 out the other day on a balance, and I hope Kitty's not going to jump on the table. Gonna have to watch that. As long as she doesn't dive back for the water. You stay there, Kitty. Good gal. Oh, look at that. What I thought was going to be a good bit of head development has fairly straight away disappeared. Which I'm a little worried about. But it's Brew York, so I'm sure the beer will be good. There we go. Fairly easy to get it back with a little shake, but I don't think that'll be there for long. So let's try and get this in and sorted. I'm on a weird angle again. Come on, focus. I noticed that on the last one I put up today that I ended up on a kind of weirdish angle. What is that focused? Yeah, it's good enough. There or thereabouts. Get these single shot photos out much better. And again, that head has dissipated again. So I'm not like, I don't know. If I'm going to have a stout, I want a nice gloopy kind of stout, and I want a nice smooth stout. And I think the head development really helps. Obviously, not having poured it all out, I'll get a second chance at it, but I still don't think it's going to stay there for long. There was on Fairy Tale of New Pork. I saw somebody talking about that on, I think, Instagram the other day. Smoked amber ale. Yeah. Well, having done the smoked beer the other day, and in fact, what did we do? Oh yeah, smoked stout on Sunday, and in fact, 2 weeks ago the full set of smoked beers. You know, it's kind of thing I have a go, so I'm gonna have to have a little look out for that one. Love a Guinness, but don't like it in cans. Well, yeah, there's so many other alternatives for Guinness, but if you do get a good pint of Guinness, gets a little bit of a free pass from me, but I do moan about it a little bit, especially a lot of these nitro stouts that are copying something that isn't necessarily that good anymore in the first place in cans. But yeah, love a Guinness, but yeah, so many other people are doing stouts, especially in these craft beer range, that I'm always going to try a stout. But I do like something a bit different. Just a normal stout is fine. Might as well have a Guinness. I want something a bit different in my stouts these days. And we'll go around trying them. So let's have a look, see what we get in this. Like I say, that head development, that lack of head development, or the head development, lack of head retention rather, is a bit worried. Blocked up nose because it's a bit cold out there. Not sure what that is, but it smells like Coca-Cola, which is weird. Not Coca-Cola. Smells like a cola to me. Like I say, a little bit of blockage in there, so that's not necessarily to be trusted. But let's go on the taste. My taste buds are fine. Cheers and enjoy the beers. That's weird. That is really weird from Brew York. There's a slight spirity edge, a little bit of cigar, and some kind of, yeah, it's more like it's almost like dandelion and burdock with some sort of cinnamon and stuff. It's sort of weird. There's no balance to it. There's no. Sorry, Brew York. I mean, it's drinkable, but there's nothing to it. There's no character to it. There's nothing. Yeah, there's just a bit of. I mean, the spice notes are there. And that, like I said the other week, I'm not looking for pumpkin flavour because there's no pumpkin flavour in any of these necessarily, except Paravel, of course, was the only one I think had pumpkin in it from the last set. And pumpkin doesn't have that much of a flavour. But this is just all about the spices, and it's sort of all a bit all over the place, really. It really does taste. It's drinkable, but I wouldn't have another one. It's kind of thinnish, but there is a slight oiliness there. But it is, yeah, it's sort of Coca-Cola outers on the outer edge, a little bit of oiliness in the middle, just a sort of smattering of spice that kind of ginger predominates with a bit of cinnamon. I suppose there might be a bit of star anise because there's something a bit spicy. It's not the best lineup of spices I've ever seen or ever tasted in a pumpkin porter. It's just all right, a little bit fizzy. Again, I shouldn't go in with that disliking it because of that lack of head retention, very little head development, let alone retention. There's a little bit of breadiness there now, a little bit of malt loaf maybe. 18 cans of Guinness from last year. Okay, yeah, it should be fine. You know. See, as I've still got half a dozen cans of Beavertown from last year that I was slowly drinking my way through. Guinness should be fine. It'd be easy, wouldn't it? And they were a year out of date when I did them last couple of months ago. So, and I don't normally drink Beavertown. I don't like them, but there you go. Yeah, Guinness will be fine. You know, I tell you what, if it's not, just pop some sparkling wine or some champagne or something. Make it a black velvet. No, what's black velvet? Black velvet champagne, or is that cider? Guinness and cider's not bad. Don't mind a little bit of that. But yeah, they'll be fine. They'll be all right. Although, why wait till Christmas? But, yeah, knock them out. It'll be all right. White Gloves, thanks for popping in. Hope you're doing all right. Haven't had a chance to catch up with too many of your beer videos in the last week or so. But yeah, I hope you're doing all right. Hope you got a beer on. Let us know what you're drinking. If you're joining us for a beer on this little Thursday tipple, I'm cracking through, smashing through, as I've put the title up, Smashing Pumpkins. Another 3 pumpkin beers. This one from Brew York is very average at best. I generally expect more from Brew York. It's not a supermarket one. It's not like something they've scrimped on. I just don't get it. Nice sweetness. Like I say, a bit more bready kind of malt loaf now. Pumpkin coffee spice. Don't even get that much in the way of coffee, really. Like I say, it's more Coca-Cola. Can't read a fucking thing on that. It's orange on black, which is great. Okay, it says the malts, which is good. Lager malt, Munich, flake totes, crystal, 2 different types of crystal, torrefied wheat, and carafa 3. I love a bit of carafa. I want a bit of chocolate and a bit of black malt in there, to be honest. That's not a massively inspiring lineup. You've got to have a little bit of crystal. Why 2? See, maybe that's where they've gone. Maybe that's what it is. They got the lager malt in there. I think maybe a lot of people might be surprised to know that a lot of stouts are actually on a pale ale base, and then you get the darker malts in, Carafa, Munich, maybe Crystal to darken it up a bit. So it's on a lager malt. I don't know. Does that account for the kind of slight thin Coca-Cola vibes going on? For a call, get in. Yeah. I've long been meaning to do a video for a Kolsch because it's a beer I was drinking 30 odd years ago now. Maybe used to get it in from Germany. And yeah, one of the earliest introductions to German lager at all, to be fair. In fact, it was over 30 years ago. Fair play. Yeah, jolly decent German lager, to be fair. Yeah, I'm struggling to read this, and I'm not sure I'm going to get a lot anyway. Welcome to Brew. My eyesight's terrible anyway. No, I can't read any of that. Pleasing they've got the malt information on there. It's not even a date issue, I know that. Yeah, 17th of May, 26. Yeah, a little disappointing that. It's sort of, it's there or thereabouts, but it's not amazing. It's sort of, yeah, I don't know. Is it that lager malt that's giving it that kind of lightness, like fizzy kind of Coca-Cola thing going on? Easy enough to drink, but yeah, just like drinking Coca-Cola almost with, if Coca-Cola did a pumpkin spice thing, really. There's very little thickness to it. There's no cakey notes. It's not even that much in the way of coffee for me. It's just a little bit. Stouts go. I like my stouts. I've sort of, yeah. So it sounds odd. Odd is exactly right. Really, it's just sort of everything and nothing. It's like chucked a load of kind of spices at it, but I'm just not sure they've got the stout bit right. It's just, yeah. I mean, it's not watery thin. It's just kind of like, say, Coca-Cola thin. I want something more. I mean, not all stouts have to be Guinness like. We talk about Guinness, and this was pointed out to me by a brewer a while back. Like, stouts can be thinner. There's a massive crossover stout and porter. Porters are not necessarily so thick and voluptuous. You do generally think of stouts as thick and voluptuous, don't you? And I like that. I prefer that. I mean, I grew up drinking. Grew up, some of my formative years, I was told Guinness was an acquired taste. So at the age of about 16, I set out with a hooky 6-pack, whatever it was, in order to acquire the taste of Guinness. And I did manage to over the weekend and drunk so much Guinness that I was on 2 separate occasions by 2 separate Irishmen conferred the status of honorary Irishman, and yeah, drunk in a terrible, some might say, pseudo Irish chain bar that had such good Guinness because they got through so much of it, I think, and it was decent as far as I was concerned. I haven't done so much in the last 6, 7 years, maybe 5 years, certainly 6 years. So I'm not saying I'm any kind of Guinness connoisseur, but I know what I like with a stout. There's, does everybody else who drinks Guinness or anything else? But Yeah, this one is just odd. You know, I mean, I don't know, that alter ego. I seem to remember saying that was sort of um, not the best as far as stouts go. Uh, I mean, I said it about that smoked stout from Cold Town and Fierce the other day. It was sort of a very odd flavour. So maybe, like I say, you put different malts in a stout, variate it a little bit. They've left out the chocolate malt, they've left out the black malt, which does give it that kind of coffee chocolate notes going on. I guess if you've got a pumpkin spice, it's all about that. You don't necessarily need coffee and chocolate, but they specifically said coffee, and I'm not really getting it either. You know, Kitty's come back to me now. She's looking the other way. She's not interested in all this madness. She's got her right up. Bless her. Yeah, I haven't got the ump particularly. It's just, I can't even sit there and go, oh, it's like a smoky cigar, or I've got nothing but Coca Cola. That's all I can get out of it. Beers with character. I said that for me, there isn't that much character to it. You know. Oh, Brewcade. Halloween 2025. I want to know what it says now. Right. My site really is that bad, by the way. I should get my glasses sorted, but that's another problem for another day. Welcome to Brewcade, a Halloween beer series. We've got a whole series of these. I never noticed any others. Oh, inspired by classic horror video games. That would account for the artwork and the fun. Inspired by the survival horror series Resident Evil. Protocol plays tribute to the creeping tension, shadowy corridors, and biohazardous nightmares of Raccoon City. Now, I've never played Resident Evil or many video games for that matter, so it's no wonder I didn't really get that reference in it. This rich, dark pumpkin spice stout delivers smooth, roasted malt character, layered with warming spices of cinnamon, nutmeg, and clove, just like your favorite autumn treat, with a sinister twist. Just like the game, it's intense, atmospheric, and enjoyed with the lights off. Well, it's a great write up. I love their enthusiasm for the product. Some of it kind of hits home. Some of it, sorry. Yeah, some of it is sort of there. I wouldn't say layered. It's not. The thing is, I really want to like it. It is drinkable enough and I can keep going back with it. Bear with. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's obviously if you recognize your video games or whatever. I mean, artwork it pretty cool. Actually, I'm not saying it's bad. Maybe I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'm sort of, maybe I'm not getting it. Maybe I'm being overly critical. I don't know, but yeah, it's just sort of drinkable, but not that exciting. Not that it's there or thereabouts. But I'm not. Yeah, it's just not hitting. See, it's drinkable enough. Like I say, in the same way that Coca-Cola is. There's a bit more coming through now. There's a possibility it's too cold. Maybe I should wait and let it warm. The spice notes are there or thereabouts. I mean, but that's all this has got for it, really. And I'm not even sure what the balance of that is because I don't particularly like clove that much. But there is that little bit of spiciness to it, and it's okay. But it's I haven't really seen that many other people talk about pumpkin beers this year. Sammy did one this morning in Australia, but over here, it's not really a gimmick, but it seems to be sort of a bit overlooked. And like I say, I was going to actually overlook them until I picked up bloody 7 of them. Harry, greetings, sir. Blue Nose Beer Reviews. Thanks for popping in. Hope you're having a good one. You've had a good week. Let us know if you got a beer on as well. We're discussing pumpkin beers, or I am anyway. But there you go. Yeah, so I mean, Brew York. There's a bit of a discussion going on about them sometimes. Like, have they, peaked? I've got plenty of time for them, based purely on the names generally. But even some of the beers, sort of hit and miss. But this one's very much evil. Maybe I'll leave that a little bit. I'll leave that to the side. It's a bit too much. It's a bit too long to leave that to warm, but it'll sort of flatten a bit as well. But we'll see what happens afterwards. Maybe I'll come back to that at the end because I've got a big finish to do and I want to charge headlong towards that. Bruno's not long back from the pub. Had a pint of local bitter for local people, which was on the turn. Then 2 Hawkstone lagers. Oh dear. Currently on a Thatcher's Gold. No, haven't got round to doing that Hawkstone malarkey yet. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. I wouldn't mind. I'd go to the pub and have a look, but I went to New York last month for White Glove. Oh, nice one. There's some good stuff I've not seen in cans, but nice one. Again, I'd love to go and check out some of their stuff. Had plenty, like I say, mostly the non-supermarket stuff. I've had plenty of stuff from them, so it is what it is. I'm going to leave that one. I'll have a little think about that last little bit. Move on to beer number 2. See, even saying that, I've got plenty to say about it. Just not necessarily positive, particularly. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to have a little think about that one, especially if it's going to be really difficult right up tomorrow. I do try not to write anything negative if I can help it. There's no real need, but I can't find that many positives apart from it's drinkable like Coca-Cola is, but without being massively exciting. Anyway, let's move swiftly on. I'll have a little think about that later. Let's go to beer number 2, please. I still haven't got that sorted properly so that I can do it slick and think. You're doing it for me. So beer number 2. Change up the banner. Beer number 2 from another eminently well thought after craft beer brewery. You can probably see from the logo, just fairly recognisable, very simple logo, that kind of teardrop. But it's Pollys Brew Co up in Wales. Beer's called Fallback, and it is a 6% pumpkin spice porter. So let's see what we get from them. Again, Pollys is one I keep doing, but because they do a lot of kind of heavily hopped stuff that isn't my thing, I tend to not be too fast. So porters, obviously, my thing. Let me get into that and see what it looks like on the pour. So, let's see, these haven't been in the fridge. They've just been in my beer stash, which is on an outside wall, so often a little cooler than I'd like this time of year. Just notice on the side it says vanilla, pumpkin puree, and spices. Vanilla's interesting additive because, like I say, it's not one I ever really get as a flavour. particularly. So I had one the other day, same with coconut, and I had a coconut one the other day that I actually thought I could get a bit of coconut funk. I think I've gone a bit too large. Nope, there it is. It's on the balance. You stay there, kitty. No jumping. Good girl. Yeah, so those who aren't sure, stepping away off the camera so I can do the photograph, and I've got that on a weird angle again, but it's on an angle, that'll do. Got the glasses wrong. No, kitty, no. All right, go on then. She's going for the nice warm seat. Bless her. She's going to be disappointed, of course. In a minute. I'll sneak into that photograph briefly. Kitty. Kitty. Off. Off, darling. Kits. Come on, don't make me out to be the bad guy. That's my seat. You go and sit over there on the nice soft furnishings. Well, there we go. A little bit of head development, easily rectified because it's dissipated as well. A little bit like the Brew York. Don't know. Hope that won't affect my judgment like it did with the previous one. Now, let's come back here a little bit, but very minimal head development. Yeah, kitty photobomb. She will give an half the chance, as long as she doesn't do it when the can's on the balance. I like Pollys, didn't see them around as much. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I got these from Trembling Madness up in York. So they stock all kind of major ones like that. I have been known to go at Pollys direct occasionally, usually when they got a beer with disco in the name. But there we go. Top of the morning to you. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning to you. Thanks for popping in. Hope you've got a beer on and the week's going all right. Heads down, diving in first into the weekend tomorrow. Lot of work on tomorrow. Got an event on as well, so slinging plenty of beers tomorrow, hopefully. But yeah, Pollys fall back. Like I say, it says on the side here that vertical can thing, but at least they do the front bit as well, briefly. Vanilla, pumpkin puree, and spices. So this has actually got some pumpkin in it. As we sort of found out with the other ones, not a lot of breweries necessarily bother, especially the stout, because you've got plenty of flavour in the stout and plenty of flavour with the spices. Not bad. Yeah, I know how you feel. So I know how you feel. Sometimes not bad is the best I can manage. But yeah, cheers and thanks for popping in. Just sorry, I've got to try not sniffing on camera. It's not great, so I can't smell anything because the old blocked up nose is a bit cold around these parts. Hope it's warm where you are. Let's have a little. Getting a little wafer there now off of that Brew York. Trying to get that out of my mouth. A bit of peanut butter, it feels weirdly. Right, anyway, so let's see what Pollys do with a pumpkin spiced porter. Cheers. Oh dear. I say oh dear because, again, I think a bit too cold and makes it a bit thin. Which is my bad. I say it's been in my beer stash, which is, great in the summer because it keeps it cool, but in the winter it's just cold. So yeah, I don't know if it was because I've just read the word vanilla, but I'm getting ice cream wafers there rather than kind of bourbony biscuits. A little bit of savouriness from those spices. A bit more cinnamon heavy on this one, I think. Definitely a bit of clove and maybe star anise or something in there. So slightly less fiery than the Brew York. The Brew York was a bit more fiery. It felt like ginger, or say maybe that amped up on the clove. This one's See, where the Brew York was like Coca-Cola, this is thin, but not like Coca-Cola. This is just, it feels like there's a bit more kind of black malt or chocolate malt in there that gives it a bit more roastiness. That's what that one was lacking. The Brew York says coffee, but there's no kind of roast coffee note going on. This one's got more of that kind of roasty note. Like it's still not going towards coffee yet. Maybe it needs to warm up again. And it might even have less character than the Brew York, which is odd. I mean, don't necessarily compare it because you're not comparing apples with apples as such. But it's got a better malt profile for sure. I think I can see the vanilla in it without actually tasting vanilla, but that's so I'm getting ice cream cones. Brewed in mold, doesn't say ingredients. Water, barley, oats, wheat, hops, yeast. Doesn't say anything about the rest of it. I thought that would have to be in the ingredients. But there you go. Yeah, so for some reason the other ingredients are listed on the side. Vanilla, pumpkin puree, and spices. I mean, it doesn't really say what the spices are particularly. Whether they've gone to town on it or whether it's just sort of wafted some at the top. Yeah, so not a lot of information on that can, despite all the export stuff. Yeah, drink fresh, store cold. I'm not sure it needs to be that cold, to be fair. But there you go. Yeah. Yeah, pumpkin beers. What does anybody else think? What's the general thing? Did you go for any pumpkin beers this year, or did you just? Is it just like a fad that only sort of beer reviewers, and even not many of them this year? Really, I can't think of anybody else that's really done pumpkin beers this year, and I wasn't going to. I just saw some at Trembling Madness. I thought, oh, do you know what? I want to try that one. It was the Alter Ego that really sort of started me off. Having had Alter Ego before with that walnut stout that Raggy did, I thought, well, I'll give Alter Ego another go. I like their beers. I've started drinking a lot more Buxton recently, so I've got the Buxton one in, and that Fierce one, noting it was an amber ale, not a stout. It was good. Balancer at the end. It was like, three sort of different beers. Obviously, three slightly less different beers, although a good range, I think. I was going to spend all my beer money in Serbia for October. Sounds like a fair exchange. Pumpkin beer, Serbia. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I don't know what the range was on these, to be fair, because, yeah, so I spent nominally 35, 40 quid on pumpkin beers this year, I suppose. So, yeah, it's sort of, it's weird because they're only like, they have such a limited range as well. It's like they're for one day. It's like buying a beer just for Christmas Day. But I don't think they should be, because spiced stouts and spiced porters you see out the rest of the year as well. You just don't necessarily call it pumpkin spice. It's just a spiced porter, which is essentially what these are, really. Yeah, there's that kind of slight. See, if I'm going pumpkin spice, I like the sweet, so I want cinnamon. I want nutmeg. Don't mind a bit of ginger, give it a little bit of fire, something like that. But those kind of slightly more, what's the word, woody noted, like clove, like star anise, that comes up that kind of, yeah, kind of slightly tree barky. But so I think there's a lot more kind of clove in this one. And I'm not a big fan of it, oddly, because I like that kind of woody note generally in some beers, but just that that lineup of spices, I prefer to go sweet, really. Normally I do pumpkin beer, but there wasn't many this year. Yeah, I apart from the usual one, the Abbeydale, which I did do, but not as part of the pumpkin series. So I'm counting that as a pumpkin beer, and the 7, but that's a bit more ubiquitous, and that's kind of the only one I see every year generally from Abbeydale. Yeah, no doubt there was a Vault City one. I would have thought, which again I have to just rein myself in at the likes of Vault City, because it's just sort of, you know, they're good, but yeah, it's not that I'm not interested in sours. I just sort of, I don't need that many sours in my life, or in my mouth. I tell you what, I nearly did for this stream. I probably should have done it. Thinking about it, I was in Aldi yesterday, and I got a pumpkin spice Ballycastle, and I'm like, I might have a little bit too much pumpkin spice going on with the beers, but it would have been a good diversion. Also, I don't need to get absolutely wazzicked tonight. So, like I did with that stout Ballycastle, where I was shotting it every beer. But yeah, I don't know. I think I regret that now. I should have got that. That would have made that one more interesting. Yeah, again, um, compared to 3 weeks ago, so far these two have sort of a little bit hit or miss for me. Not that, necessarily that's anything to go by, but yeah, the spice and pumpkin spice can be difficult. No idea where the pumpkin is in there. Like I always say, it's like I can see why breweries don't bother putting pumpkin in, because it's a sort of non-flavor, really, compared to all the dark malts and the spices, which are stronger flavors than pumpkin. So it's like maybe there's that little kind of sweet savory thing going on. That's where the pumpkin brings it in, which kind of bounces off that clove a little bit for a bit more savory kind of spice note. Um, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. Any of these, a pint of this down a pub and cask or whatever, would be absolutely fine, I think. Again, maybe I've got it a little bit too cold. I've got the temp wrong, maybe. That's my bad. Looking forward to the third one. Much higher ABV to finish. So I'm expecting good things from that too. Don't want to be 3 times disappointed. Ooh, a lot of kind of raisin toast going on in that one now. Maybe there's a little kind of slightly buttery raisin toast. Slightly better on the lacing. There was absolutely no lacing on that glass, so not sure about it. Easily invigorated head retention. So, not that it does a lot. Again, don't get me wrong, both of these perfectly drinkable. Less so smashable for this one. I'm kind of tempted just to kind of put that one aside and see if that warms up as well a little bit. It'll probably be off camera by the time I get around to it, but it feels like a bit more pumpkin in there now. Sometimes I get a kind of orange note off a pumpkin, certainly in beers. I think again that's psychosomatic, just because pumpkins are orange, I get that there a little bit. That kind of chimes in with the bitterness slightly as well. Fucking nose. I need to get this nose. I need to get new eyes, new nose, then I'll be fine. Excuse me sniffing away. It's a little bit cold around these parts. Yeah, that one's better anyway. It's getting better. A bit more sweetness in there now, like I say, a bit more kind of brioche kind of raisin toast. There's a little bit of raisin sultana note going on as well in that one. Still not much on the vanilla for me, but maybe that's just the sweetness. But yeah. So I've looked at Pollys' website before, so I'm not going to go and look at them, see what else they got, because I don't think these will be available now. I know, I'm sure Trembling Madness has still got a bunch of these around. So you can pick them up after the event. Maybe they'll be on discount. It's worth a look, you know. But yeah, I mean, I'm not disappointed by it particularly. You know, it's hit or miss. You pay your money, you takes your choice. I'm liking this one more now, although there is that kind of slightly savoury kind of, not herby, but kind of spice note on the background. A little bit of burnt toast going on, which can be good, you know, not always great for it. There's a little bit of butter there now. Weird. Yeah. But compared to that one, yeah, I'm not going to go back for that one until it's warmed up a bit, but yeah, I'm going to put that one aside, have a little think about it after the stream, maybe. See if it warms up a bit. If I get round to doing the review on Instagram tomorrow, the written review from the photograph, maybe I'll have some other notes to talk about after the event. For me, it's been better than the Brew York, but not outstanding necessarily. Again, you shouldn't go into these things necessarily with go, oh, it's Pollys, so therefore it must be brilliant. It's just, yeah, had better, I guess. Well, in that case, what we're left with is beer number 3, I guess. So let us where are we? Let us dive crashing, stumbling, and headlong into beer number 3, please. Beer number 3 is a beer and probably brewery very few people, I guess, have heard of. I don't know. Very, very small brewery down in Surrey, doing some good stuff. A few beers I've had from them. Obviously, no giveaway by the artwork. Very plain and simple black and white artwork. Very angry looking pumpkin on that. The brewery's called Anomaly. I have featured them before a while back with a porter, funny enough. Now I've got a few more of their beers. That was one before. A really, really nice, I'll say basic, straight up porter. This one is pumpkin, a 10.5% pumpkin spiced porter. Now, this is currently available on their website, although it does say on the website to be dispatched on December the 1st. So they've kind of missed the boat on Halloween by a couple of weeks. So I didn't think I was getting this. I ordered it, and then I saw the thing that said December the 1st. And a little bit of chat with the owner on that. So I don't know whether this is like a YouTube first. I'm not really one for claiming YouTube firsts, although I did do that with that Hackney Church beer, because I did get it 3 days ahead of the release. But yeah, so I don't know if this is out in the popular. So I was going to check Untapped, not that I do Untapped, but I was going to see if anybody's been drinking it around. I think they've taken cans out possibly to events and stuff. I'm not sure. Looks like Brew. Yeah, I see what you mean. Actually, yeah, it does a little bit, doesn't it? I know what you mean. Brew is not one I've not got around to up in the northeast. Will at some point. Yeah. I hope this one is good. The others haven't been terrible. I think I've been a bit overly critical, maybe with the temperature. But yeah, 10.5% from brewery. I've had a couple of good beers from, but don't essentially know too much about. I don't know if this is going to go. No, it's not too bad. Good carbs. Only a little bit of gas. Going to put it in the Imperial Stout glass. Don't know if you picked up any of that sound, but good head development. I think I might have messed that up. I said that on the last time. No, straight in on the counterbalance. It'll get there, I think. Yes, there we go. So bear with me whilst I do the photograph. The can balance. These things amuse me. Yeah, nice bit of head development there, and some kind of like bubbly, chewy kind of cakiness going on. No, kitty. Can't resist. Yes. And yes, that head development staying by the looks of it. Oh, as I've said that, it's gone a little bit, but yes, and photograph decent too. Happy days, happy with that. Kitty. Kitty. I don't want to move the camera, I can't show. Kitty, guess what, darling? It's not your time yet. Good girl. Well done. Go and sit over there. Good girl. Good girl. Bless her. Won't let her have a lap. So, despite the nice comfy cushion over there, she's going to go and sit on the cold hard microwave because that's her second favourite spot. So yeah, 10.5%. Bit much for Thursday night. Not for me. I'll go up too early tomorrow. I've got a full day of it. Open the bar for 12. Yeah, so I like the look of this one immediately. So I said before, I met these guys, this guy, who was it, at a summer beer festival in the back end of August now. So I've been keeping an eye on the beers, and obviously I picked that Witch Doctor up, the porter from him. And he looked with chat, said this one was coming out. So I said, yep, I'll definitely put an order in. And I did. Got a 4-pack, 25 quid, including the glass. My idiot. What an idiot. I've got an Anomaly glass and I've left it in the cupboard. Disco, you dickhead. Got a branded glassware. I like branded glassware. Not my favourite shape. Sorry, Anomaly. I'll do the other ones in the branded glassware. For now, I'm doing this one in the Imperial Stout.Fall. That's annoyed me. I was annoyed myself like that. Got a branded glass, haven't used it. What a dickhead. Anyway, let's dive in, see what we get from this 10.5% pumpkin spice porter from Anomaly Brewing called Pumpkin. Cheers. Okay, that confirms I'm talking utter bollocks for the other two because that's too cold as well. However, so I think these are too cold. Like I say, it's room temp. Well, it's not room temp. It's room temp in the cupboard. Maybe I should have got out, put it on a radiator for a bit. It's too cold, but because it's 10.5%, there's absolutely no hint of thinness there. Oh, yum, 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 yum. Oh, just got a very late development of that spirity edge, that 10.5% coming through. What was that? It's kind of rum, I think. Yeah, nice. Really nice. Yeah, so it's too cold, but there is a definite thickness to it compared to the other two, say. and it's there. It feels a bit oily, a bit unctuous, and then there's that spirity edge. Don't get too much on the porter from it. There's no like I would say porter. I'm looking for liquid bourbon biscuits, basically, a nice balance of coffee and chocolate. Don't get too much of that here, but that spirity edge, that 10%, really carries it through. It doesn't really matter. Not strong on the spices. Again, not really a problem. Fairly delicate spice note. And again, more. It feels like more kind of clove, star, anise rather than kind of cinnamon, nutmeg kind of thing. Yeah, plenty of alcohol legs on there, a little bit of lacing going on. That kind of, much darker tan kind of head. Shark, how you doing, sir? Good evening. Thanks for dropping in. Hope you're doing well, having a good week, sir. Yeah, going large again with the pumpkin beers here. If it wasn't so cold in my beer stash at the current time, I think temps dropped down to like just above freezing or maybe 0 yesterday. So it's gone a bit cold, but that would be proper warming, I think. Oh, yes, of course. Just tapped it. How's it going? What are we looking at? Look forward to checking out that review at some point. Homebrewed pumpkin ale in America for those not a favourite with Shark's brewing adventures. Hopper in. How you doing, sir? Yeah, not too bad. I'm as well as can be expected for the time of year, and life's going all right. Got 3 pumpkin beers in 3 weeks after the event, of course. There we go. 6.3%, solid ABV. Tasted pretty good. Nice. I hope you've got a Thursday tipple going on. If you join us, do let us know what's in your glass. Oh, hello, Ninja Cat. Good girl, kitty. There was something a little bit of. There's more wafer there. It's more like that dark kind of. What's that dark kind of wafer you get? Not ice cream wafer, but that kind of a waffle cone. Definitely a waffle cone going on there. That kind of brown sugar note going on. Definitely too cold, but that's my bad. Absolutely delightful though, with that 10.5%, really carrying through those kind of spirity notes. I'm not sure it is rum, actually. It's somewhere between rum and brandy. It's not quite Scotch or bourbon or anything. Very little sweetness, I think, really. Those kind of waffle cones giving that slight roughness, a little bit of brown sugar roughness, bit of raisin, but very little sweetness. Hello. What's you doing? Hello. Hello. Tough cat. Hello. Be your time in a minute, kitty. I'm just enjoying this 10.5% pumpkin porter. Yeah, it's nice. Really nice. Enjoyed at the correct temperature. That will be proper warming the old cockles. You know what I mean? That's one. It's one of those end of the night beers in a cozy little country pub by the fire. Cats go. Not the star of the show. Nor am I. She would be the star of the show if only she could sit in front of the camera and look cute rather than diving all over the place waiting for a lap. But there you go. But yeah, cozy country pub, slightly scary. Sitting by the fire, dying embers, proper warming. Uh, you know, or where you'd have a boiler maker, just have one of these. Scotch to chase down that last pint of Guinness or stout or whatever. Whereas this, that's all in one. It's just really nice. Um, yeah, not heavy on those pumpkin spices. I don't know. Again, let's have a look. See what they say. Okay. Oh yes, of course. Yeah, this is the other thing they say. We specialise in taking old, forgotten recipes from around Europe and rethinking them with today's brewing in mind. Become the anomaly. Pumpkin, pumpkin, pumpkin spice porter. A traditional British porter base with added pumpkin puree, pumpkin spice, and aged on vanilla bean pods. It says vanilla in this one as well. Exceptionally smooth and complex. Best before June the 30th, 2026. No surprise, I've got a full set of in-date beers tonight. Sorry, Shark. Yeah, so more vanilla. Never get vanilla. Can't really say so. Having said, vanilla, I think usually is kind of about the sweetness of the beer. But I'm always in the mood for an impy. Oh yeah, starting to get in the mood for some impy stuff. Well, this is the thing, kind of somewhere between Halloween and bonfire night in the UK and Christmas. Those impy stouts with some big kind of spirity edge, some kind of you know whiskey or some dark spirits, not party spirits like vodka. Some dark spirits, a warming kind of spice note going on. So I'm often in the mood for an MP, and I'm very much in the mood for this one. Unless those other two have just signed. I'm going to have to go back and try those now, but it's very difficult after this, especially with this fucking nose. But yeah, there's a voluptuousness without necessarily that kind of cakey kind of smoothness, but it feels like it's there if it's a bit warmer because that's still far too cold. Disco Arms is always a bit cold. Anyway, at the best times. I'm in the mood for a 15% stout now. I tell you what, that's hit. That's hit. It feels north of that 10%, 10.5%. You know what I mean? It feels big. It feels it should be warmer. It's a bit too cold, but it's got those warming notes, I'll put the heater on, I think. Absolutely bordering on decadent. Oh, there's a little bit of vanilla kind of wafer thing going on. It's it's one of those where I don't want to keep talking because I might accidentally belie the fact that I'm smashing a 10% beer. 15% barrel aged beer is decent session beer. Certainly a seasonal beer. You need it in this kind of weather. Something to warm the old cockles. Kind of just sit back with a little bit of warmth. Kind of I just forget about the fact it's bloody cold outside. I was outside in the cold all day, keeping warm by literally shoveling shit. It's my job today. I was composting the old grains. We been working on a farm. We compost the grains so that it breaks down over the winter, and as the growing team grow a lot of flowers, got vegetables, so we make the compost for them. And now we do. We used to have a couple of guys come and do it. They left, so it's like, Disco, would you go and build the composter. Yeah, okay, I'll do that. Saves me going to the gym this week. I mean, I wasn't going to the gym this week, but now I've got a really good excuse because, yeah, shoveling keeps you warm. I tell you, keeps you warm. And I'm talking like almost my height in compost. So I shoveled a couple of them today. Didn't really do any brewing or anything in the brewery. Just shoveled a load of compost. So I kept warm. Oh, I kept warm when it's cold out there. But yeah, these beers have not been kept warm because they've been in my stash. It's an outside cupboard. Well, no, it's inside, but it's on an outside wall that don't get any sunlight. So it's cold most of the year. This time of year, the air is cold as well, so it stays much colder. On this one at 10.5%, that warmth breaks through the cold. So this beer is this beer is too cold for its time. But that spirity edge definitely keeps the warmth flowing. So I really like this beer. If you see it, if you go and order some, it's available. Let me show you the website because it's available on the website. But as part of a 4-pack, 25 quid for 4, you get a glass, which I forgot to show you. It's in the cupboard. I have to go and should have dug it out as well. But let's have a look at the website because I do really like these guys. It's worth a look. Yeah, there we go. Christmas gift pack. 25 quid, 4 beers and a glass. That's a fiver each at the end of the day. Lunatic, a flagship beer de garde. I mean, that's quite high ABV as it goes. The Bohemian Pilsner I've tried on draft. Jolly good Czech style Pilsner. 10.5% pumpkin. That's worth more than 5 quid generally. And the Fallen Sky Pale Ale. Need to get the report about the Witch Doctor. He claims it's it's a regular rebrew by the sound of it, because the one I had, he reckoned the current one was 5 times better, if not 10. Yeah, so Lunatic, a 7% Belgian beer de garde. Now, Belgian beer de garde I have some experience with, being that McColl's do that beetroot beer de garde, which I've still got one of actually. So I like trying something different like that. I don't know a lot about Belgian ales, but this is a Belgian ale recipe dating back to the 1700s, apparently. Smooth, silky ale with hints of toffee, banana, and thyme. That's my kind of thing. All up for that. Let's have a quick look on the about. So yeah, there's Anomaly Brew was founded in 2017 by Adam Sutton, specialised in taking old and forgotten recipes from around Europe and rethinking them with modern brewing techniques. Most of our beers are inspired by things that we've tried whilst travelling. Anomaly is based in New Malden, Surrey. I keep saying Epsom or Esher, but it's kind of over that way. New Malden's much near Wimbledon, isn't it, really? We love supplying locally to as many independent tap rooms, shops and pubs as possible. Also ship across the UK, across London to me, to be fair. A small brewery, most batches are 200 litres each, which does limit us, but it also ensures that we can give every drop the attention it deserves. If something goes out of stock, it should be back within a few weeks. Well, 4, I should imagine, minimum. Probably a little bit longer for this one. But yeah, I say I haven't chatted to Adam at both on Instagram and originally at the beer festival in Boston Manor. Top bloke, knows his stuff. Brings out some banging beers, including this one at 10.5%. You can tell I've enjoyed this beer because I've been banging on about it for half an hour. After the first 2, which I still haven't finished, I will. They're a perfectly drinkable one. I'm hoping they'll warm up a little bit. That one's all right. Head retention is still staying. That one, quite frankly, a bit flat and lifeless. So that was the a Brew York. Let's see if it makes any difference. No, still perfectly decent flavours wise, but just lacking that character which they claim. See, that one will be all right. Just prefer that head retention. This one, it's not flat and lifeless. There's still plenty of character in that. Easily reinvigorated head retention there. Just superb flavors. That spirity edge. A little bit of rum, a little bit of brandy. Quite delicate on the spices. A little bit of raisin, slight breadiness, more waffle cone wafer. But yeah, nice balance there. Nice balance. But yeah, I need to sit back on the sofa and wait for it to warm properly and have another go. But I've got to be honest, I think it's weird. It's from the basic witch from Buxton was pretty good, to be honest. But I think that one, at such a juxtaposition to this one, such opposite ends of the scale, this is always going to be my favourite. But that pumpkin spiced amber ale was probably right up there, vying with 1 and 2 for this. I think. So of 7, there again, the Pilgrim is a almost amber ale. So I think the amber ales are slightly winning for me on this year's selection, and the kind of the pumpkin just kind of takes it just because of that big spirity edge. Imperial version of these two, not sure how that would work. But yeah, I don't think these are just a gimmick either. I said it earlier. I think they're like, you could drink these throughout the year. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. They're decent beer. And this one, yeah. I mean, what do you reckon? 10.5% NP made this year. What do you reckon the date is that? I reckon it's got at least 5 years on it. He's put a year on it. Well, he's put less than a year on it. June 30th, 2026. Maybe because of the pumpkin in it. Maybe because of the spice. It's probably because of the pumpkin. That would probably be good till well after next year, I would think. Smoked pumpkin spice beer. Don't see why not. It would work. I'd have to worry about the pumpkin then. But some big smoked malts alongside them spices. Do you know what I mean? Don't know if you saw that one I did last week. Smoky Session Stout. Yeah, that could work. Maybe that's a project for you. Maybe that's a project, Shark. Get Rob to do one. Get Rob to do it. Send it to me. I'm not sure my boss wants to do a smoked beer. I've made delicate suggestions, but I don't know whether it would wreck the equipment or not. Everything after that would be smoked. So I don't know how we do that. Yeah, but for me, Anomaly absolutely pulled it out of the bag there. And I mean, like, it's an argument that it's just the best because it's 10.5%. But you still have to have that balance, that character, that kind of flavour. I want more chocolate. I want more coffee in it. But I can understand it's there. It's a bit more subtle in the background compared to that kind of spirity edge. So it's fine. And it's very, very drinkable. It's still got to be smooth, a little bit decadent. As I say, I'm making allowances because I've stored it too cold. I couldn't really help that. It's just in a bit of a rush today, so I just, it's just under room temperature. But yeah, no, really, really, really nice. And again, for such a small brewery, 200 litres, doing a 10.5%, it's a hell of a gamble. It's a hell of a leap of faith at the end of the day. You know, like Brew York can knock out 10% quite easily. Pay the duty as well. Small brewery like this, do you know what I mean? Like, and they've put it in a set as well. Yeah, I really like them. I really like that dark wafer waffle cone note. I really like the subtlety of the spices. Not getting so much on the vanilla. There's not a lot of sweetness, but that 10.5%, that spirity edge is really, really carrying it. It's quite frankly delightful. Absolutely, and a different way of it. It didn't have to do 10%. In a way, there's no need to do a 10.5%. You know, however, again, must be a massive like malt bill on it for 200 liters. It's a massive, massive malt bill. But he's absolutely smashed it out of the park. However, he's done that. It's really, really nice. And I'm going to sleep well tonight. So you haven't got up too early in the morning, but yeah. So I tell you what, for a stream that's gone up against semi-professional beer reviewers, even though they don't review beer, they just do it occasionally. Over on the other side of YouTube, Craft Beer Channel, go and check them out as well. They're doing a set of free beers, one of which they made themselves for their Love and Beer Festival. I doubt they'll be shouting me out, but I'll have to shout them out because they know what they're talking about. So, whereas me, can't breathe, can't smell it, and I've kept my beers too cold, so I'm no bloody expert. But you guys have all popped in and chimed in, so thank you very much indeed. I'll raise a glass to that. To check out my pumpkin beer series. 7 pumpkin beers this year. Whether I do it or not again next year, I don't know. Whether there'll be another 7. I will try. So yeah, for the winner for me, I guess is Anomaly. I think it's been the one that I've enjoyed the most. So I've really enjoyed the stream. Thanks for popping in, Mr. Wilson, as always. Thanks for the reminders of the photographs. Shark, as always. Thanks for anybody else who's popped in. White Gloves, Hopper, etc., etc. If you're watching this after the event, whether you've been watching the Craft Beer Channel or not, or if you've just popped in, do pop your comments down, what you think about pumpkin beers, what you think about the stream, etc. I'll take all comments. 10.5% pumpkin spiced porter. What do you reckon? I reckon it's amazing. Really liked it. But yeah, drop your comments down below. And anybody saying hello to Kitsko? Is it Kitsko or Catsko? I can't remember what we've decided on. Come on in. Come on. Come on. Come and say hello to your adoring fans. Look. There you go. There she is. Hello, beautiful kitty. Hello. No, not fast. Here's your lap. Yeah, thank you very much indeed. I'm in Disco, Just Disco Beer Reviews. Join in again, and if you're watching after the event, please do the like and subscribe thing. Click that, and we'll find some more live beer reviews next week. Maybe Sunday. I've got one up already for Monday Club that I didn't get on this week. And yeah, some more beer reviews next week. Lots of stuff coming up as we head on into the dreaded C word time. Happy festive times, everybody. This is a big finish. Thank you very much indeed. Cheers and enjoy the beers, everybody. Got to find my outro. Where's my outro gone? I moved it up to make it easier. So yeah, cheers and enjoy the beers.